Brazil!
All right, so we've just had breakfast. Now we're going to head up to the coffee farm. We're going to go check out a couple of different varietals and see what it takes to grow organic coffee. So let's go.
Which variety is it?
Obata.
Obata.
Yeah. So it's got like slightly higher acidity and a citric. It's got a lot of sweetness, a lot of its big body. So we'll be tasting it pretty soon in the cupping table.
Big dangly boy over there is banana blossom. It's used in like vegetarian cuisine. It's like you could use it as like to simulate fish at times, or you can like use the inner leaves that are much more tender as like lasagna sheets, pretty much.
This sort of holes here, this is a leaf miner, like a mosquito puts a larva and it eats the leaves. Yeah, the spiders are great because they eat those insects.
There's a giant spider web right there, James. You should get in there.
We also have other animals like small crickets and stuff that eat ladybugs, that eat the larva. The more biodiversity, the more sort of control. You see it's not really widespread. Each variety has a weak point. So this one is really strong against leaf rust, but it affects with leaf miner. So you know how to treat each variety. That's why it's important to also to have plots that are organized by varieties.
Organic farm?
Yeah, problem solution.
Yeah.
All right, so this gives you a nice view of this part of the farm. The coffee we plant on the highest parts. That's the highest part of the farm at that antenna back there. That's about 1,200 meters. Over here we have Yayu, which is central Ethiopia, and then we've been planting, testing a lot of varieties out, but we have some Willichos and some Gujis. We came up through some of the varieties that are more in production, like the Arara, the Obata, has a little bit of Pacamara. So you see that uncovered earth, all that?
Yeah.
That was all coffee. That's my neighbor. That all died. Like he had planted that as young 1-year-old trees. He lost all of it. So we were here like 7 in the morning, where like the sun was already up here and heating up this top part of the farm, and then over there it was just I have a picture. It was this cloud, and then like finally the cloud came up, and then 2-3 days later you just see it start to turn brown, and we call it like it burned, like it looks like it burned the leaves. So some areas people lost like 20% of their coffee and stuff like that. So if you want to look over here, these are Pacamaras. Pacamaras come from El Salvador, and they're massive beans. So they look almost like olives. Late ripening, so they'll ripen in June, July. And Pacamaras that have a lot more acidity. So they're very acid driven, and then there's always the element of the farm where they're grown. So here they'll always have a lot of sweetness and a lot of body to them too. You love them or you hate them, basically. They're like very intense, different kind of cup.
You see that eagle, James? Yeah, it was great. We got to see different varieties and some of the experiments that Felipe is doing. Now we're going to go to a different field, meet the chief agronomist and see some of the challenges and problem solutions he has, and then go cup some coffees.
So we're here with Zehomil, and Zehomil is our agronomist, our main agronomist for the FAF team, and he comes once a month to our farm and to visit the other farms, give us insights into what we should be doing, help us build the plan, the management plan. He's been working with us for 5 years now.
5 years.
So there we are, we just cupped with Felipe. We had 10 coffees on the table showing the range of all the different regions that Felipe works in and all the different quality scores. We talked a little bit about what to expect from each region and the philosophy of full farm profitability that Felipe is trying to work on right now to make sure that the maximum amount of the yield is sold in various different markets. So it was really interesting. I was really happy with the conversation we just had. Yeah, so now we're going to go grab some lunch and go to a different farm and start visiting some of the neighbors. I'm pretty excited about this first farm that we're going to because as well as coffee, they are distilling cachaça, which we tried last night and was delicious.